that the emergency in the state, they, including giving out the LGA, giving out all appointed positions in the state. The supporters of the governors, I don't think we have an option because we will key into the programs and agendas of the governor. The agenda of the governor is that there is peace, and there is peace. Whether they are carried along in the peace process or not, to me, I think it's immaterial. What is important to us today is that the finance has returned to the state. The governor has returned to office. All the other issues are by the way.
By the way, you say. So as it stands now, will you say that, well, there is something for, because when you mentioned the governor gave out the local government council and so on, there are many that would say, well, we had an election now. So in politics, when you say give out, what does it mean? How do they give out?
Well, it's all about sacrifice. It's all about sacrifice. You know, I told you that the declaration in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
They say, no, what happens of peace has given all. We should question only of his decision. These are the saddle today. He knows where he will pilot the vote to.
All right. Then it brings us to, you mentioned a structure of the party. So where does that leave members of the PDP in Rivers State? And who is in charge of the PDP with regards to the chairmanship position? Because in your time as acting chairman, there were certain provisions of the party that you read out and that you felt was the constitutional provisions of your party. Are those provisions still being followed now in the PDP in Rivers State?
Ordinarily, I wouldn't want to comment so much on issues of PDP because they are all part of the process that has brought us to where we are today. So the PDP at the center is taking steps to ensure that there is peace, there is reconciliation. In the next 1 month or so, the party will hold.
Before we go, I'd like to clarify. You say that you don't want to say too much about the things happening within the PDP at the state level because some of the things happening now is part of the peace agreement. What exactly is happening, and what are the things that are being done in the PDP that are part of the peace agreement?
I told you that the governor made so much peace to the state. The governor gave out the 23 local government. The governor gave out all appointed positions in the state, including government councils of tertiary institutions, research, and every appointed position. The issue of the party is part of the peace process. That is where we are today.
So you're saying with the leadership of the party, it was going to be nominated by one side of the divide. You're saying that it would be
attendance of the agreement. He knows what he agrees with for peace to return to the state. What should matter to Rivers people today, and including the party, is that peace has returned to the state. We should leave whether the local government is in his hands, the minister, or the party is in his hands, or he will nominate. No, we should leave those ones at this moment. Let us ensure that the peace agreement is reached is kept by both parties.
Yeah, but Rivers people need to understand the agreement, and from some of the things you say, it's the reason why we need to ask certain questions that should at least get some answers. What exactly is the context of the agreement, and who is giving what and who is giving who? Because you have said that part of the agreement that the governor was gave all the appointed.
I wasn't part of the peace agreement because I didn't attend the peace meeting. I didn't attend. Peace he has reached with the other party.
All right. So, as a supporter and follower of the governor, then what do you think would be available for the supporters of the governor to get? If you are saying that all of these positions and all of that have been sacrificed for peace, so the supporters of the governor and those who have been with him throughout, all that happened politically in the state for the past 2 years, where do they now stand?
Like I told you, what happened in River State was not a normal situation. Has happened, it has happened. We put them back the hand of the floor. What we need to do as supporters of the governor is to continue to pray for the governor. We will continue to support these people. Where we are today is not normal. But there's not matters today the peace that has come to the state. The governor has returned to office. He continue to work for Rivers people. Rivers people elected him for a period of 4 years. Let him deliver on the mandate given to him. What we get, what we will not get, where we will go or where we will not go, they are immaterial at this moment. But with time, things will begin to play out.
So for you now, in the PDP, are you returning back to the position you were holding before you became you started acting as chairman in acting capacity at the time, or what's then the situation in the PDP?
The governor, Governor Fubara, remains the leader of the party. If the governor says this is where we are today.
We will go on that break, and when we come back, lines and get more reactions and questions from those listening, and a few more questions that we might want to put to you to respond to. Meanwhile, let me remind those of us who are listening now that you can be a part of the conversation. 173017923003 or 0817923007. Any of those numbers to help you get across to us. And then on Facebook, we are live at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. So join the conversation there. Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. That is the handle on Facebook to be a part of the conversation. We'll be taking your messages after we return from the break. On WhatsApp, if you want to send us WhatsApp messages, 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. The question now is, if you listen to all my guests have said, what is left for supporters of the governor? Will they get adequate settlement as well? In the context of the conversation, in the remaining 2 years, will those who have stood by the governor and supported him throughout this time get in this picture of governance that we have? If you are going to take anything out of what my guest has said,